For today's webinar, we have prepared two different studables. The first one is a height profile, and the second one is a planar contour. So let's start with the height profile. We drag and drop it in the document space. As always in mountains, when you want to use an operator or a study, you first select your data in the document or in the workflow. You go Studies tab, and then you will find the contour analysis right here. Click on it. Then you can enter the full screen mode by pressing F11. And so here is the contour analysis. In the contour analysis, we will be creating elements, for instance, points like this, segments, arcs first, and then we'll be using those elements for measuring distances, angles, and radius. So let's start with the basics, creating some points and measuring distances between those points. Creating elements, you will find those options in the left panel. Let's start with points. We have this option here called Create Profile Point. Click. Then we can zoom in on that portion of the profile using the mouse wheel. And then you find the place you want to put the point, like this one. You click. And then the software creates a point. You can zoom out again using the mouse wheel, or you can use the auto scale content. Now we will be creating another point, for instance, on this bottom pyramid. We can zoom in, and you can see that there is an additional option for creating points. Using this button here, we have lots of options, and here's one. We can create a point, the lowest point present in a portion of the measured profile. So we select this option, and then you can draw a portion of the profile like that, and then the software will automatically place the lowest point on that portion of the profile. Now we have created 2 points, and we can start to measure distances using the right panel. That's where you will find all the options for measuring radius, arcs, and distances. So let's start with vertical distance. To do so, you simply click, then you select the first point, you select the second point, and then the software simply measure the distance between those 2 points. As you can see, you can move around that label to put it wherever you want. If you click on that number, you also have control over the font style, the font size, but also other options like the number of digits you want to place after the comma, for instance, 2. And that's how you measure a distance. Now, if we go back taking a look at the profile, there's a number of features. We have some segment. We may have an angle here, an angle here, and 2 arcs. So using elements available on the left panel, we will be creating a contour that will match the measured profile. So let's do so. Let's start with segments. Creating segments, that option you will find right here. You click on it, and then you click the first point of your segment, the last point of your segment. I can zoom in, and the software will create a best fitted segment that will match that portion of the profile. Now we can do the same with all of the other segments available on our measured profile. We have one here, we have one here, here. Then using the arrow keys, I can move the profile around. I'm creating one here, one here, and the last one. Now, the last two elements available on my profile are arcs, and creating arcs is available right here. As with the segment, you simply click on the first point of your profile, of your arcs, the last point, and the software will create the best fitted arc that match this portion of the profile. We can create another arc. You can also simply click once and drag around like that, and then click. And now we have the second arc. Now, it is usually important to, or useful to extend those elements. Maybe for simply measuring the coordinate of a certain point. Extending those elements, you will find that option right here, join elements. You select the first one, the first element, the second element, and the software have extending those two. Now, if you have 1, 2, or 3 elements, you can do that manually. But when you have lots of them, and that's the case here, we have an option called Auto Connect Elements. And if you click here, all of the elements are being connected. Now that we have created a contour that matches the measured profile, we can start to do other kind of measurement. For instance, we can measure the angle between one segment and the other. And you will find that option right here, Measure Angle. You click, and then you select the first segment, the second one, and then boom, you have your measured angle. You can do that a second time right here, here, and then you have your other measured angle. We have two arcs, and we want to measure the radius. You will find that option right here, Measure Radius. You select it, you click on your first arc, and you select your second arc. Finally, we provide other options for measuring distances, not only vertical distances, but we can also measure horizontal distances. To do so, you click on that option, you select, for instance, the first point and the second point. Like that. Last but not least, when you create those segments, it might be worthwhile to measure the length of a certain segment. And to do so, you click, for instance, the horizontal distance, and you simply select one segment. And the software will simply measure the length of a particular segment.